I stood in our living room, staring at the empty space where my grandmother's antique Leica M3 camera had been displayed. The glass cabinet door hung open, a mockery of security. My mother-in-law Linda's perfume still lingered in the air, a cloying reminder of her unexpected visit while Alex and I were at work. I'm Savannah, and until today, I thought I understood the rules of engagement with my husband's family. Keep smiling, nod politely, and maintain the peace. But some lines shouldn't be crossed. My hands trembled as I dialed Alex's number. "Your mother took my camera," I said when he answered, my voice barely controlled. "The one from my grandmother." "Are you sure? Maybe she just moved it somewhere else while cleaning." "Cleaning? Since when does your mother clean our house without permission?" The words tasted bitter. She had no right to be here at all. Mom mentioned wanting to catalog the family heirlooms. She probably thought, "Family heirlooms? It's my grandmother's camera, Alex. Mine, not your family's." His sigh crackled through the phone. "Let me call her. I'm sure there's a reasonable explanation." I ended the call and paced the room, cataloging other missing items. The vintage silver serving set from our wedding, the hand-painted vase my sister Megan gave us. All gone. My phone buzzed with a text from Linda. "Darling, just organizing things for the family collection. Everything's safe at our house? Come for dinner tonight and we'll sort it out. Bringing your favorite lasagna." The casual presumption of her message made my stomach turn. I showed up at their house an hour later, not waiting for Alex. Linda opened the door with that practiced smile of hers, already speaking before I could get a word in. "Savannah, dear, I was just about to call. Tom and I were thinking these precious items should be properly displayed in our family room. After all, we have that beautiful mahogany cabinet." "Where's my camera?" I interrupted, stepping past her into the house. "Now, dear, you know these things should stay in the family. What if something happened to it at your place? Besides, Alex agrees it belongs here with the other family treasures." I spotted my camera sitting on their mantel, already arranged among their family photos, like it had always belonged there. The sight of it made something snap inside me. "You had no right," I said, moving toward the mantel. "This was my grandmother's last gift to me before she died." Linda stepped between me and the camera. "We're all family here, Savannah. What's yours is ours. That's what marriage means." Tom sat in his recliner, pretending to read his newspaper, just like always, avoiding conflict while his wife steamrolled everyone's boundaries. "That's not what marriage means," I said, reaching past her for the camera. "And we're not done talking about this." Linda's hand clamped around my wrist. "I think you're being rather dramatic. Alex understands these things need to be preserved properly." Let go of my arm. "Mom?" Alex's voice came from the doorway. He looked between us, confusion turning to concern. "What's going on?" "Your wife is having a little meltdown over some family arrangements," Linda said, releasing my wrist. "Perhaps you could explain to her how these things work in our family." I grabbed my camera and backed away from them both. This isn't about family arrangements. This is about theft and control, and I'm done pretending it's normal. "Savannah, wait," Alex called after me as I headed for the door. "Let's talk about this." But I was already gone, my grandmother's camera clutched to my chest, understanding for the first time that this wasn't just about stolen belongings. This was about power, control, and a marriage that was about to change forever. 3 weeks after the camera incident, I sat at my desk staring at the confirmation email for our 5th anniversary getaway. A secluded cabin in the mountains, just Alex and me, away from the chaos, away from Linda. I'd spent weeks planning every detail, determined to reconnect with my husband without his mother's shadow looming over us. My office phone buzzed. "Your mother-in-law is here to see you," my colleague announced. Linda swept into my office before I could respond, carrying a glossy travel magazine. "Darling, I have the most wonderful news. I found the perfect anniversary celebration venue for all of us." I minimized my email. "All of us?" "Of course. The Riverside Manor has the most charming family suites. Tom and I stayed there last summer. 4 bedrooms, a shared living area, perfect for quality family time." My carefully planned surprise crumbled. "Linda, this is our wedding anniversary." "Exactly. Marriages are about joining families. Alex always says how much he misses our family traditions. She placed the magazine on my desk, perfectly manicured nail tapping a photo of an ornate Victorian mansion. I've already spoken to Alex about it. He thinks it's a wonderful idea. Of course he did. I gripped the edge of my desk. When exactly did you speak to Alex about this? Oh, we had lunch yesterday. He mentioned you might be planning something, but really, darling, a cabin? For such an important milestone? She wrinkled her nose. We need to celebrate properly. My phone pinged with a text from Alex. Mom told me about Riverside Manor. Sounds nice. Maybe we should consider it? I stared at the message, heat rising in my chest. He couldn't even wait to discuss it with me face to face. I need to get back to work, I said, standing up. We can talk about this later. Don't be difficult, Savannah. I've already made the reservation. 4 nights, starting Friday. Tom's so looking forward to it. You what? The words came out sharp enough to make Linda blink. Well, someone had to take charge. These things book up quickly. She adjusted her designer scarf. Besides, Alex agreed it would be easier if I handled everything. I grabbed my purse and keys. I need to step out. But we haven't finished discussing the dinner arrangements. I was thinking formal attire every evening and... I left her standing in my office, her voice trailing behind me. In my car, I called Alex's office. Hey, can we talk about this later? He answered. I'm heading into a meeting. You had lunch with your mother yesterday? A pause. She happened to be in the area. And you didn't think to mention it? Or the fact that she's hijacking our anniversary? She's not hijacking anything. She's trying to include us in family traditions. Why are you being so sensitive about this? Sensitive? I pulled into a coffee shop parking lot, needing somewhere to breathe. This is our anniversary, Alex. Ours. Not your mother's social event. Look, the cabin sounds nice, but Mom's right. This is about family. Why can't you just try to get along? Get along? My laugh sounded hollow. Like when she broke into our house and stole my camera? Or now, when she's steamrolling over our anniversary plans? That's not fair. She apologized about the camera. No, she didn't. She justified it. There's a difference. Another pause. I really need to go. We'll talk tonight? But I knew we wouldn't. He'd work late, avoid the conversation, hope it would blow over like everything else. And Linda would get her way. Again. My phone buzzed with a text from her. Darling, I'm thinking matching outfits for the family photos. Navy blue would be lovely. I'll send you the dress I picked out. Size 6, right? Though you might want to watch those afternoon snacks. I stared at the message, something shifting inside me. This wasn't just about an anniversary anymore. This was about every boundary crossed, every decision undermined, every moment stolen. I opened my email and clicked the cabin reservation. Instead of canceling it, I forwarded it to my sister Megan. Maybe it was time for a different kind of celebration, one that didn't include my husband or his family at all. The boxes arrived on a Tuesday morning, dozens of them, stacked in our foyer like an invasion force. Linda breezed past me with a clipboard, directing the delivery men where to place her holiday decorations in our home. The crystal centerpiece goes on the dining table, she instructed, marking items off her list, and the artificial tree needs to go by the bay window. We already have a tree, I said, watching her rearrange my furniture without asking. And decorations. Oh, those craft store items? She laughed softly. Darling, this is going to be featured in the Valley View magazine's Holiday Homes spread. We need proper decorations. My stomach clenched. What magazine spread? Didn't Alex tell you? The photographer's coming next week? I've invited the whole country club board. We'll host 60 for dinner. Tom's already ordered the catering. I spotted my handmade ornaments, the ones Alex and I collected over our years together, piled in a donation box by the door. Something inside me snapped. No. I grabbed the box of ornaments. This is my home, Linda. You don't get to decide. Our home, Alex interrupted, walking in from the garage. Mom's put a lot of effort into this, Savannah. It's important to her. Important to her? I gestured at the boxes overwhelming our space. What about what's important to us? To me? Linda's perfectly lined lips curved into a smile. Family is important, dear. And this event will do wonders for Alex's networking. Several potential clients will be attending. You planned a massive holiday party in our home without asking me? I turned to Alex. And you knew about this? He shrugged, avoiding my eyes. Mom's been planning it for months. I thought you'd be excited. Excited? I watched another delivery man carry in what looked like a life-sized mechanical Santa. This is insane. All of it. Now, Savannah. Linda's voice took on that patronizing tone I'd grown to hate. I know change is difficult for you, but... Stop. I held up my hand. Just stop. I want everything out. Now. Don't be ridiculous, Linda scoffed. The invitations are already sent. Everyone who matters will be here. Everyone who matters to you, you mean? I grabbed my car keys. This is my house, not your social club. Our house, Alex corrected again, softer this time. Mom's right. This could be good for my career. Why do you always have to fight everything? I stared at him, really seeing him for the first time. Because someone has to. Linda moved between us, clipboard raised like a shield. I've planned everything perfectly. The caterers, the decorators, the guest list. Get out. The words came out quiet but firm. Excuse me? Get out of my house. Take your boxes, your perfect plans, and get out. Savannah? Alex stepped forward. You're overreacting. Am I? I pulled out my phone, dialing quickly. Megan, can you come over? Bring your truck. I turned to Linda. You have 1 hour to remove everything, or I'm donating it all to the homeless shelter. You wouldn't dare. Linda's face flushed. Alex, control your wife. But I was already heading upstairs, grabbing my overnight bag. I could hear Alex following me, his footsteps heavy on the stairs. Where are you going? To my sister's. I threw clothes into the bag without looking at him. When you and your mother are done turning our home into her personal showcase, let me know. This isn't just about the party, is it? I zipped the bag shut. No, it's not. It's about respect, boundaries, marriage, all the things your mother tramples, and you let her. She means well. She means to control everything, and you let her. I shouldered past him. I'm done being the only one fighting for us. Downstairs, Linda was ordering the delivery men to continue unpacking. I walked past her, my grandmother's camera, the one thing she hadn't managed to keep, clutched in my other hand. This isn't over, she called after me. I turned at the door, meeting her eyes. You're right, it's not. Because now I understood. This wasn't just about standing up to Linda. This was about saving myself from becoming another decoration in her perfectly arranged world. And maybe, just maybe, it was time to rearrange things my way. After 2 weeks at Megan's, I returned home, ready to fight for my marriage. The Paris tickets were hidden in my desk drawer. A surprise I'd planned for months, a chance for Alex and me to reconnect away from his mother's influence. I found the tickets missing from my drawer. My phone lit up with an email from the travel agency. Confirmation of party increase, 4 travelers. The modified itinerary listed Linda and Tom's names alongside ours. The room spun. I gripped my desk, scanning the details. Our intimate bed and breakfast was replaced with a luxury hotel suite. Our private cooking class changed to a group tour. Every carefully chosen moment designed for 2 had been expanded for 4. My phone rang. Linda. Darling, I hope you don't mind, but I've made some adjustments to the Paris itinerary. That little inn you chose was rather quaint, but the 4 Seasons will be much more suitable. I've already contacted my friends in the area to arrange proper dining experiences. I ended the call without speaking. Minutes later, Alex walked in. Before you get upset, he started. How did she get the tickets? He shifted, hands in his pockets. She was helping me organize the office while you were gone. Helping you search through my desk, you mean? She thought it would be nice. Stop. I pulled up my banking app. Why is there a charge for 4 tickets on our joint account? His silence told me everything. You gave her access to our account? Mom offered to help with the bookings. It was easier to let her handle it. I stared at him, this stranger wearing my husband's face. Easier than what? Standing up to her? Being married to me? That's not fair. She's trying to make this special. Special for who? I moved closer, watching him step back. Tell me something, Alex. Did you ever want to marry me? Or did you just need someone to fill the role your mother cast? Of course I wanted to marry you. I love you. No. The realization hit like ice water. You love having me. There's a difference. His phone buzzed, Linda's special ringtone. He reached for it automatically. Don't answer that. He hesitated, then picked up anyway. Hi, Mom. I walked out of the room, out of the house, driving aimlessly until I found myself at the coffee shop where Alex and I had our first date. Back then, I'd thought his close relationship with his mother was sweet. Now I understood it was something else entirely. My phone lit up with a text from Linda. Booked us matching outfits for the Eiffel Tower photo shoot. The photographer's quite exclusive, but he agreed to squeeze us in. You can thank me later. Another message followed. Oh, and I hope you don't mind, but I used some of the extra funds in your account to book a few special surprises. You'll love them. Extra funds. The money I'd been saving for my photography studio. I called the bank. Linda's name had been added as an authorized user on our joint account 3 weeks ago, the same day Alex had lunch with her to discuss the anniversary plans. My hands shook as I opened my laptop, logging into my photography portfolio site. The landing page had been redesigned. Family Portraits by Linda Matthews Carter Photography blazed across the top, my own work relegated to a small sidebar. A new email arrived from Linda. Darling, since you're so passionate about photography, I thought we could combine our talents. I've already booked several clients through my country club connections. We'll make such a wonderful team, under my guidance, of course. I closed the laptop, a strange calm settling over me. This wasn't just about a ruined trip or stolen money anymore. This was about my identity, my future, my whole life being slowly erased and rewritten. My phone buzzed again, Alex calling this time. I watched it ring, remembering how he'd answered his mother's call without hesitation. Some things once seen couldn't be unseen, and some betrayals cut too deep for second chances. The silence in our house had become another presence, filling every room like smoke. For a week after the Paris revelation, Alex slept in the guest room. We passed each other like ghosts, speaking only when necessary, both pretending this was temporary. I found the gallery contract on my desk one morning, unsigned. Linda's elegant handwriting covered the margins with suggestions. My exhibit concept completely rewritten into a family-focused show featuring her work prominently. My phone lit up. Megan, have you seen Linda's latest Facebook post? I pulled up the page. There it was. A professional headshot of Linda in front of my photography backdrop, announcing her new role as lead photographer for several upcoming society events. My clients. She's stolen your entire client list, Megan said. How did she even get access? Alex's laptop sat open on the kitchen counter. I knew his password, his mother's birthday. Inside, I found emails between them discussing my business, sharing my contact lists, planning the transition of my studio into their joint venture. The front door opened. Alex walked in, stopping when he saw his laptop in front of me. I can explain, he started. When were you going to tell me you've been helping your mother steal my business? She's not stealing anything. She's trying to help expand it. By taking my clients, rewriting my contracts, he set down his briefcase. Mom has connections, better equipment, more experience with the kind of clients who can actually pay. The kind of clients who matter, you mean? I closed the laptop. Like the ones coming to her holiday party? The ones in Paris? This isn't personal, Savannah, it's business. Business? I laughed, the sound sharp enough to make him flinch. Was it business when you gave her access to my bank account? When you let her hijack our anniversary? Our home? His phone buzzed, Linda's ringtone. Go ahead, I said. Answer it. She's probably wondering why you haven't reported in yet. He reached for the phone, then stopped. You're being paranoid. Mom's trying to help us build something bigger. No, she's trying to erase me, and you're helping her. That's ridiculous. You're still what? Your wife? The person whose life you're supposed to protect, not destroy? His phone buzzed again. This time he answered, turning away. Hi, Mom. No, everything's fine. I walked upstairs to our bedroom. His mother's influence everywhere. The bedding she'd chosen, the artwork she'd selected, the family photos she'd arranged. Even my grandmother's camera had been moved to a less prominent spot. My phone pinged with an email from Linda. "Darling, I've taken the liberty of rescheduling your upcoming shoots. The clients were thrilled to work with someone more established. Don't worry about the contracts. Alex helped me sort everything out legally. This is really for the best." Another ping. "Oh, and I hope you don't mind, but I've invited the Valley View magazine to do a feature on our new family photography business. They're particularly interested in my journey from society matron to artistic mentor. You'll get a lovely mention as my daughter-in-law, of course." I opened my closet, pulling out my old camera bag. Inside, wrapped in soft cloth, was a memory card I'd never shown anyone. Photographs from the past year documenting every manipulation, every boundary crossed, every piece of my life Linda had claimed. Downstairs, I could hear Alex still talking to his mother, planning my future without me. I plugged the memory card into my laptop and began creating a new portfolio. Not the family-friendly version Linda wanted, but the raw truth of a marriage unraveling under the weight of manipulation and betrayal. My phone buzzed with a text from Megan. "Gallery opening next month. Still have that space if you want it. Time to tell your story, sis." I looked at the photographs spreading across my screen, evidence of a life being systematically erased. Maybe it was time to stop fighting to save what was already lost. Maybe it was time to create something new from the ashes of what Linda had destroyed. I typed my response to Megan. "Book it. But don't tell anyone, especially not Linda." Some stories needed to be told without interference, and this one would be mine alone. The bank statement sat on my desk like a loaded gun. Every penny I'd saved for my studio, $60,000, transferred to a new account. Linda's name was all over the withdrawal slips, but Alex's signature authorized everything. My phone rang. The Paris Hotel, confirming the upgraded suite reservations. 4 people, paid in full from my savings. I dialed Alex's office number with trembling fingers. "I'm in a meeting," he answered. "Where's my money?" A pause, papers, shuffling. "Can we discuss this later?" "No, where is my studio money?" "Mom needed it for the Paris arrangements and the new equipment for the family business. She's investing it for us." "For us?" My laugh sounded foreign, even to me. "You mean for her trip, her business, her control?" "You're being dramatic. The money's still in the family, your family, not mine." I hung up, opening my email to cancel the Paris reservations. Error message, cancellation period expired. Another email from Linda popped up. "Darling, just confirmed our Paris itinerary with my friends at the French Photography Society. They're excited to meet the whole family. I've scheduled daily shoots, matching outfits already ordered. You'll love being my assistant." My phone buzzed again, a text from the gallery owner who'd agreed to host my exhibit. "Sorry, but Linda Matthews Carter just booked the space for her society photography launch. Said you'd be working with her? Congratulations on the partnership." I drove to our bank, hands white-knuckled on the steering wheel. The teller pulled up my accounts. "I'm sorry, Mrs. Carter, but these accounts are frozen pending review. Mrs. Matthews Carter raised concerns about unauthorized activities. She's not authorized on my personal account." The teller checked her screen. "Actually, she was added as a joint holder last week. Your husband signed the paperwork." I sat in my car calling every client in my contact list. Each conversation the same. Linda had already reached out, explaining she was taking over my contracts for the family business. My phone lit up with Alex's message. "Mom's worried about your behavior. Maybe we should postpone Paris until you're feeling more stable." Another from Linda. "Darling, I've taken the liberty of scheduling you for some counseling. Clearly you're struggling with family dynamics. The therapist is a dear friend of mine. She'll help you understand your place in our family structure." I drove to Megan's apartment, but she wasn't home. A note on her door. "Emergency work trip. Back next week. Love you, sis." Back in my car, I opened my photography portfolio site. Error message, account suspended. I tried logging in to my email. Access denied. My phone buzzed with an email from Linda, forwarded from my own account. Dear valued clients, I'm stepping back from photography to focus on personal growth. My mother-in-law, Linda Matthews Carter, will be handling all future bookings. Thank you for understanding. I drove home in a daze, finding Linda's car in our driveway. She and Alex sat at our kitchen table, surrounded by papers. Oh, good, you're here, Linda smiled. We need to discuss the new business structure and your recent emotional instability. Get out. My voice was barely a whisper. Savannah, Alex stood up. Mom's trying to help. You're not thinking clearly. I said get out. I grabbed Linda's papers, scattering them across the floor. Both of you. See? Linda turned to Alex. This is exactly what I was worried about. Good thing I already contacted Dr. Reynolds about that intervention we discussed. I backed away from them both, understanding hitting me like a physical blow. They weren't just taking my money or my business. They were trying to take my sanity, my identity, my entire existence. My grandmother's camera sat on the shelf, the only thing they hadn't managed to steal yet. I grabbed it, along with my car keys. Where are you going? Alex called after me. To tell our story, I answered, not looking back. The real one. Because sometimes rock bottom isn't where you end. Sometimes it's where you finally start fighting back. The gallery buzzed with opening night energy. My photographs lined the walls, not the soft focus family portraits Linda expected, but stark images documenting 3 years of manipulation. The camera being stolen, holiday decorations overwhelming our home, Linda's signature on my contracts, Alex looking away in every shot. I adjusted my grandmother's camera around my neck like armor. You can't display these. Linda's voice cut through the crowd. She stood in the entrance, Alex and Tom behind her, all dressed for her canceled society event. These photos are family property. No. I kept my voice steady. These are my memories, my truth. Your truth? She laughed, moving closer. Alex, tell her she's being ridiculous. But Alex was staring at the photos, really seeing them for the first time. One showed him sleeping on our couch while Linda rearranged our wedding photos, removing the ones she hadn't staged. Another captured him signing papers without reading them, his mother's hand on his shoulder. This is slander, Linda hissed. I'll sue you for defamation. With what evidence? I gestured to the images. These are just photographs, moments you created, nothing staged or altered. I was helping you, all of you. She turned to the gathering crowd. My daughter-in-law is having a breakdown. We should clear the gallery. Actually, the gallery owner stepped forward. These images are officially documented and registered. Any attempt to remove them would be theft. Linda's perfectly composed facade cracked. Alex, do something. But Alex stood frozen before a particular photograph. Linda accessing my laptop while I slept, the screen reflecting my bank account information. You said she agreed, he whispered. You said she wanted you to handle everything. Of course she did. Who wouldn't want my expertise? My connections? Linda grabbed my arm. Take these down. Now. I pulled free. Or what? You'll have me committed? Take more of my money? Steal my identity like you stole my business? I made your business better. You made it yours. I raised my camera, capturing her rage in real time. Just like you tried to make me yours, to make Alex yours. Everything I did was for this family. No. I lowered the camera. Everything you did was for control. Mom, Alex's voice shook. Did you really access Savannah's accounts without permission? You signed the papers. Because you said she asked you to help. You said... He stopped, looking around the gallery with new eyes. You've been lying to me, to all of us. Linda turned to Tom. Tell them how ungrateful they're being. But Tom just shook his head, finally speaking up. No more, Linda. I won't help you destroy another family. Another? Alex and I asked simultaneously. Tom met his wife's eyes. Should I tell them about your first daughter-in-law? The one who disappeared after her nervous breakdown? The gallery fell silent. Linda's face went white. She was unstable, Linda whispered. She needed help. She needed freedom, Tom said, like Savannah does now. I raised my camera one last time, capturing the moment Linda's perfect world cracked apart. The photo would never make it to the gallery walls, but I needed it. Proof that sometimes the greatest revenge isn't destruction, but illumination. Alex, Linda reached for her son. You understand, don't you? Everything I did was for you. But Alex stepped back, moving to stand beside me. Not touching, not supporting, but for the first time, seeing clearly. No, Mom, everything you did was for you. Linda's scream of rage echoed through the gallery as she lunged for my camera, but this time I was ready. The flash went off, capturing her final attempt at control. Security? The gallery owner called quietly. As they led Linda out, still screaming about family loyalty and ingratitude, I turned to Alex. I'm not coming home. He nodded, understanding at last. I know. I'm sorry I didn't see it sooner. I watched them leave, Alex guiding his father, both men finally breaking free of Linda's shadow. The gallery slowly emptied, leaving me alone with my truth on the walls. Sometimes victory doesn't look like winning. Sometimes it looks like letting go. The last box from our house sat unopened in Megan's spare room. Inside, wrapped in tissue paper, lay the photographs I hadn't displayed at the gallery, the quiet moments before everything unraveled. Alex and me at our wedding, his mother adjusting my veil without permission. Our first Christmas, Linda rearranging my ornaments while I slept. Small invasions I'd dismissed as love. My phone buzzed with a text from Tom. Linda's starting therapy next week. Alex too. Different doctors, different cities. Thought you should know. I set the phone down without responding. Through Megan's window, I could see the city lights flickering like stars. My gallery show had sold out. Every image purchased by people with their own stories of boundaries crossed, lives controlled, freedom stolen. The doorbell rang. Alex stood outside, holding a familiar leather case. Found this in Mom's closet, he said, handing me my old camera bag. The one she said was lost in the move. Inside were all my missing memory cards, carefully labeled in Linda's precise handwriting. Savannah's amateur attempts, and to be improved later. I'm selling the house, Alex said. Moving across the country for a while. Need to figure out who I am without... He trailed off. Without her voice in your head? He nodded. I found Mom's journal. She had plans, our whole future mapped out. The business, kids, where we'd live. Even had names picked out for grandchildren. I'm not surprised. I should have been. He pulled out an envelope. The money's all there, everything she took, plus interest. I set the envelope aside, unopened. It was never about the money. I know, that's why I brought this too. He handed me a small package wrapped in brown paper. Inside was a framed photograph, one I'd never seen before. Linda stood in her pristine living room, surrounded by stolen pieces of my life. My camera, my contracts, my wedding album. She looked triumphant, possessive. The photo was dated the day before my gallery opening. Dad took it, Alex said quietly. He's been documenting everything for years. Said someone needed to know the truth. I studied the image of the woman who'd tried to erase me. Why show me this now? Because you were right. About everything. And I need you to know I finally see it too. He turned to leave, then stopped. The gallery called. They want to make your show permanent. Said people keep coming back, finding their own stories in yours. After he left, I unwrapped my grandmother's camera. Through its lens, I'd captured the destruction of one life and the creation of another. Not just mine, but Alex's too. Maybe even Linda's, in her own way. My phone lit up with another message, an email from Linda's first daughter-in-law, reaching out after seeing the exhibition. Thank you for telling our story, she wrote. Some people need to see their reflection to understand their true face. I picked up the photograph Tom had taken, studying Linda's satisfied smile as she stood among her stolen treasures. Then I grabbed my camera and captured one final image. The photo of Linda's triumph placed beside my gallery invitation, her carefully constructed world juxtaposed with its public unraveling. The gallery would need one more piece to make the collection complete. Megan came home, carrying takeout and possibility. Got a call from a women's shelter, she said. They want you to teach photography classes, help others tell their stories. I looked at my camera, then at Linda's photo, understanding finally that revenge wasn't about destruction. It was about reconstruction, building something new from the pieces others tried to take. When do we start? Because some stories don't end with forgiveness or reconciliation. Some stories end with freedom, the quiet kind that comes from reclaiming your voice, one frame at a time. I placed Linda's photo in the box with the others, closing the lid on that chapter of my life. But I kept my camera close. After all, there were still stories waiting to be told, and this time, I'd be the one choosing which moments to capture.